Hello, my friends. I'm here to welcome you to the sixth edition of Relationships. It's a series that is ongoing and it's within our community talks. And today I am bringing you a topic that is a complex one, especially for people from my background, the African background. And I know it doesn't apply always to all of Africa. Africa has a lot of countries with a lot of cultures and everything. But so I'm addressing people who are familiar with what happens in my own community. Have you noticed, for example, that when a man is really well off and he's living, let's say, in the city and working, and he has even a mansion, let's say he has even a mansion, but he's not yet married, the family kind of like, they leave him alone. But as soon as he gets married, they begin to move in. The younger siblings, it's like his mother starts to dispatch the younger siblings to come in and live with their brother. Also, there are moments when the woman gives birth and she has this family flowing in to give her a helping hand. They're coming for very good reasons at that time. But the problem is, you know how every building has its capacity. When a building, a space exceeds its capacity, there's bound to be friction, there's bound to be disagreements that are taking place, and people kind of see too much of what is happening that would never have been a problem had they not seen it. And no, comparing men to women, men men are thinking of general things. They're like just floating around like an airplane flying over a country. But women are like the foot soldiers. They see everything. They know the crevices. They know where the cracks are and where the weaknesses are. And then there are some mother-in-laws who come with already bias in their hearts. For whatever reason that bias is, I can't blame them here because every case is different, okay? And so they are coming to put things in check and to be able to bring a bit of control into place and all of that. But no, a family is not a place for a third party to come in and control. So what is going to happen? And how can we avoid some of these problems? What is going to happen is that if some of the problems are not anticipated and taken into consideration well in advance, then there's going to be a conflict. There's going to be a conflict. And you know, in a conflictual situation, it creates a very toxic atmosphere, and it has a negative effect on the relationship between the man and the woman. It has a very negative effect on the children. And so let's be careful the kind of environment in which we want to groom our children. Let's be careful about the kind of environment we legate to our children, because they are watching us and they are seeing everything we're doing. So it behooves the man. I'm using that word again. I want to focus on the case of the man's mother being the one who is visiting. It behooves the man now to know himself, know his wife, know his mother, and be able to know where the possible hot points might be and where there might be possible explosions, and will do something to detonate before they explode so that the peace in the family can be maintained. Because always the presence of another family member should really be a blessing. You know, it should really be an additional blessing. But when it turns really problematic, it leaves a very sour taste, and sometimes it leaves wounds in the family that last for so long, and people hold grudges that go on for so long. Mother shouldn't leave her son's house feeling so sad with tears and feeling that she has lost her son to another woman. No, it shouldn't be like that. So what is to be done is that there's a lot of communication should take place. There's usually problems because the people assume a lot. And also there are a lot of expectations. Mother-in-law has her expectations, and if those expectations are not met, but she doesn't master the terrain. So the husband, the man has to be able to prepare her for this. And And because these societies have not provided an opportunity for the senior citizens to be able to continue to live a very fulfilling life, they're expecting everything to come from their sons, okay? It's like all the sacrifice they made, grooming their children, they have to have the reward when they come in there. And it shouldn't be that way. But unfortunately, that's the case. That's the reality. The reality is that they're expecting a lot to come from here. So I wish we had enough money that when we get married, we could have an extension of the house so that if mother comes in, she could be in that part of the house. She could even have a cooker for herself to be able to cook what she wants, the way she wants to eat it. Besides, in most families, people cook the same meal for everybody, but it's not the right thing to do. People of different ages eat differently. People who have different professions and different activities shouldn't have to eat the same food because the various activities call for different types of food. And if we start serving the same food to everybody, it can cause a lot of problems and frictions in the house. So I would say that one of the major things to do is to anticipate the problems and do whatever it takes to prevent a conflict. When you anticipate a problem, you don't just think about it in your mind. You kind of like bring together the parties that are bound to be face to face with each other for a long time, and you explain how is your home different from the home where your mother is coming from. You know these expectations of your mother. Let her know that this is a new home. You will be able to meet some of the expectations, but some of them you will not be able to meet. Tell your mom that your wife is going to do her best, and hopefully, I'm just expecting and assuming that the daughter-in-law is also a peaceful one that is happy to have mother-in-law coming in, and so would do her very best to collaborate and accept and welcome mother-in-law as a blessing to her family, not a time of tension, not a time of trouble. To create an atmosphere where if they already have children, the children could really be happy to have mother around. You would have to look beyond your little family unit to create opportunity where mama, mother, that precious queen, could meet her other friends, because while she was in the village or in her own home, she visited her neighbors, she visited her friends, and I think we can create a kind of a collaboration, a synergy, and where we involve our different mothers in different activities so that when they meet each other on certain occasions, whether they are playing games or they are having a party together or doing something just amongst themselves, it will help them to reduce a lot of the tension that can be built up just by having to sit within a house for so long. We have to be able to stay on top of these problems. We have to be able to do what it takes to prevent friction and problems coming in. Even the younger brothers and sisters who come to live in, maybe to go to school because their brother's home is the only place where they can stay, I wish we had enough money to have an extension room where they could be there so that the crisscrossing in the family can really be reduced. Even the food issue, so they can cook some of their own food on their own, and then you arrange for moments where you can meet to play together, to sing together, pray together, do things together, help one another, but also have those moments when you have your own space to yourself that is reserved just for you. Some people, when they come in like that, they are really a hindrance to the romance that can happen between husband and wife. You can kiss your wife the way you want. You can do what you want. Even the normal things that you do in front of your children, some of those parents cannot stand it. Some of those mothers cannot take it. Some of them can even become jealous. They felt like, my husband never did this to me. Who is this woman? Why does she think my son needs to do? And some of them start saying that, oh, this woman has charmed my son, and is being controlled by him and all of that and stuff and stuff. Yeah, mother sees beyond things. If she's a balanced woman, she's a good woman in her heart, she'll be happy for you. She may even say, like my mom used to say, I don't see you kissing your wife. Sometimes people will come and complain to my mom, like they're having problems in their marriages, and my mom would ask the man, you don't kiss her? You don't kiss your wife and things like that. And she's just a village woman. So these are problems that we don't have to allow problems to crop up just because we find ourselves in difficult circumstances. I'll say this to you in closing. Once a sibling of mine called and said, you know what, mom is becoming a problem with us here. I mean, we can't handle it anymore. And I called my mom and we were talking on the phone. And before I even listened to what mom had to say, I said, Mom, first thing I want to let you know, that house is not your house. You're just a visitor. You're just a guest in that house. And luckily, even for that particular issue, it had nothing to do with conflicts between mother-in-law or the other. I don't want you to know whether it was a son or a daughter. But what mom's issue was that, oh, I didn't raise my child this way. I thought the values of this child are not like what I raised the child to be. And I said, Mother, and this is very important for us women to take into consideration. Sometimes women spend their years of their lives pining over the fact that they raised their children in a particular way, instructed them, groomed them in a particular way, and they've walked away from it. No, don't worry about it. Do your best while you have them. And I said, Mom, you raised your child in this and this and this and this way. They have ears, but they have to make their own choices. Let them. If what they are doing, they are happy with it, that's fine for them. If they are suffering and they don't want your advice, that's fine, Mom. Be at peace and just take it and realize that these are adults that you're dealing with. You don't have to worry. So I'm saying, because we Africans, most of us are living in situations where we have to host our siblings, younger siblings, mother-in-law, from whichever side. We have to be able to stay on top of the problems. Let's do whatever we need to do to reduce the tension. Sometimes some men, they have this habit of just walking away and just staying out of the house for long. But if you listen to the previous videos, I said, wherever you're going for social outings, you got to be with your wife. So don't abandon your wife when your mother comes in. Don't let her into her hands. And if there's, especially when there's a conflict, do whatever it takes. You must be able to stand like a man. The kind of love that is due to your mother and respect is different from the type that you should give to your wife. And you should be able to make the distinction and keep the peace. You have to learn to be a good manager and allow the blessings to flow in your home so that your children will partake and have a very good time to spend when your mother is around. I've only spoken about mother-in-law being the man's mother, but I think that on the side of the mother, coming from the lady's side, you can already pick up a lot of information from what I have shared with you. These are just how the Lord is leading me to share this information. You may have better ideas than I do, and I would like to learn from you. So, when the mother is coming from the lady's side, ladies, do the same. Let your mother's presence be a blessing to your son. Okay? I know it's easier that way. It's usually more complex from the other side. Let it be a blessing. And let the siblings that are living in the house also be a blessing to you. And I pray that the Lord will provide the means for you so that you can help your siblings, that they don't have to take your house as a permanent home forever and forever. They have to grow out of it quickly and get out, because that house is for you, your wife, and your children primarily. And you want to be able to have the right environment in which to groom and grow up your children and nurture them the way that you intend to be. Otherwise, there'll be too many interferences. So I think I'm done for today. And this is a topic that can go on and on and on, but somehow I hope I've been able to share an idea. I've been able to get to talking about this. And don't forget communication. Anticipate the problem. Try to bring a solution to it, and try to make the presence of the guests in the house a pleasure for them who are coming. And also try to communicate and communicate a lot, and show a lot of love and respect on both sides, and it shall be well in Jesus' name. Have a good time. Mother-in-law, we love you. I would wish all daughters-in-law could say this to their mother-in-laws. Have a good time, and God bless all families in our community. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not yet, and please share my videos. I like to hear from you. I want to do better for the future, and we are together in this. So stay blessed, and God bless you. Thank you.